Here we are, we're back again. Literally, the archaeologists have taken a load of stuff out with the mattock, literally, just to get to a level where you can scrape. But in all honesty, it's looking very natural in this hole, very natural. So it's probably going to be a load of nothing again, to be honest. Oh, we had a lot of children here earlier, and the majority of them have gone now. Another piece of slate. A few things have been found. Someone just found the clasp, or part of a clasp of a Victorian brooch, or after Victorian. But yeah, with trowel in hand, anyway. Quite a large piece of something here, not entirely sure what it is, but just a white thing sticking out of the ground. Yeah, not sure what that is. Alright. That is a funny shape. Could actually turn out to be interesting if I don't scut it too much. Why it's partially buried like this, but it seems to still be going down. It's still going down. That might be the piece of interest in the dig. So yes, we're at Ashburton Park again in Croydon, and there's a couple more days to go. So it's tomorrow and Friday, if it's not already one of them days. But whatever this is, it's a bit of a funny shape. Among other news, I brought my pot pieces down that were from the partition, Addington Spring. And they found it very interesting and gave me dates of late Iron Age, Roman and early medieval. Wow! And a piece of bloomery slag. And they said that there was not much evidence of early ironworking in this region, so could potentially be very important that there's iron workings in this area. Could be very important, despite only the small scale, just cast stone sheets and a bloomery that probably date till the Iron Age, or possibly Roman, but I don't think so. I think late Iron Age. Yeah, we've got a strange looking thing literally sticking in out to the ground here. I think it's just run out underneath. Oh. Nah. Not nearly as interesting as I thought it was. It's just a ball of mortar, I think. But we hope that it was something interesting. This hole does seem quite natural, to be honest, unless there's something buried lower down but it all looks rather natural. And I've not really found anything apart from one tiny piece of terracotta. But yeah, I was quite happy to find out that that partition, Addington Village Spring pottery, was at least Iron Age, Roman and early medieval. It's the green glazed pottery. Either side glazed green or one side green, early and medieval. Which may date to the time of the oldest part of the church and the medieval part. I have no idea if I'm in frame, I assume I am. Or my head isn't quite low enough, but yeah, I'm gonna swap the other side. So yes, DJ, part of a local archaeological.
Made any discoveries?
Not really. I thought I found something there, but it's just a ball of mortar basically. Just one tiny little bit of. It all seems to be rather natural at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's not looking brilliant. I don't know if there's anything the other end, but it's looking rather natural.
I've uncovered quite a big bit of the foundation over there.
Oh, there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this for your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's all very natural. It's a shame it's so slow, but shame it's a bit small, but that's a bit more slaggy, like something's been cooked, clay, almost clay by-product, but it's just too small really. It's looking very natural. But we don't just have the blackish pebbles here, we've still got angular, rough pieces of flint that don't really match up. Lots of mortar in the hole. So we've got flint that is clearly related to building. It's not pebbles like the native blackie. Thankfully it is a bit cooler today. It's definitely a bit cooler. I mean, yesterday was toasty when even that looks like a bit of a hot rock, slaggy hot rock. And again, we've got what looks like hot rocks. More flint. Slate.
I wouldn't say being an archaeologist is most.
Seems to be a lot of hot rock. funny, almost slightly hollow sounding noise then, but I don't think so. I'm actually removing quite a bit of soil. But I think they've only got 1 or 2 days left here before they start filling the holes in again. But it's been quite interesting. There's a tiny, tiny little piece of glass there, almost microscopic. And over there, I think they found some of the original window surrounds. Fragments of window surround. But no, a coin would be nice, or something to date at least. A copper from the 1700s, maybe 1800s. It's strange, really, because I'm clearly not an archaeologist, but they seem to think I am. I just got so much knowledge of geology and bottles, and I've been rattling off stuff myself that they actually think I'm quite knowledgeable anyway, to be honest. So the leading lady, Emily, she seems to be quite agreeable, and she's had a bit of banter, being an Irish lady, possibly a Dubliner, you never know. But she seems to just let me do my thing, to be honest. There's another piece of terracotta pot, probably just plant pot, to be honest. I'm not sure about the position of where I am, whether this was out the front. It could just be that this was more of a garden section, not necessarily the building, because as I said, it all looks a bit natural. We've got flecks of chalk in here, maybe charcoal, also, like I said, hot rocks. Very disturbed ground, but you need to remember that it's been trodden since they demolished the building. There's been so much footfall in this park, it's going to be compacted. And not only that, because of the way the weather is, hot and dry, it's going to be a bit tough to dig, in all honesty. But so far, as always, nothing particularly special has been found, but it's the experience, I suppose. Never would I have realised that one day I'll be almost living the Time Team dream, to be honest. And properly feeling comfortable about it as well. But yeah, it's all this sandy, silty soil, full of pebbles, various pebbles. I mean, I'm getting through it pretty quick, and I'm slowly making my way in that direction. doing it by hand. I don't really. I mean, I could use this, but it's. I'm used to emptying things out by hand, especially with my bottle hunting. Just loading a bucket up by hand, basically. What looks to be more hot rock, just fragments, pulverised, even pulverised hot rock. And another piece of plant pot or something like that. Very destructed, broken up and destructed. Shame we didn't bring my Garrett carrot really, just to show it off. But I don't think there's much to really detect. Yeah, quite the experience. Very happy to be told that my partition finds are literally ancient pot and remains. Let's hope that what is there is literally protected underground. My guess is they didn't go deep enough, thankfully. Just wish it could be highlighted, because what I've found could potentially be very important, but how do you really go about declaring stuff like this? Stuff was mentioned, but oddly, it seems to be very slightly damper the further right you go. But I've pretty much been left to my devices. Again, very porous, very light. Not sure if it's brick or not, to be honest. Very small. There's another piece. I don't know if I want to carry the camera around the site, because there's
the bearer of bad news. We've got about 8 minutes left.
8 minutes to go.
If
We've got about 8 minutes left of today. So although they've dug this, it's trenched down a bit more. Not really found too much. It's very bitty. We've got chalk, fragments of chalk, slag and maybe charcoal, coal, stuff like that.
Oh, get away. Nice one. That's very cool. Trust yourself.
It's definitely charcoal and burning, so it could be at a floor level. It could even be below the floor level. It could be robbed out, but not that it was very old to be robbed out.
Just to let you know, Jonathan. reckon there's about 5 minutes, and then we'll be packing up, alright?
Yeah. Now 5 to 10 minutes to go. Can we find something in that time? This is the second bucket I'm filling up. Maybe at the end I can do a little walk around. Very bitty with the chalk and the burnt bits.
Maybe can you mime a trap just so I can see how deep your hand is?
Just in the tree.
Never be a model like that, will you?
Oh, okay. We got something a bit. I think it's just a flint, to be honest, but it's rather big. I have to try not to scrape it too much. So we got something a little bit bigger coming out now, but I think it's just a rather big reddish flint. Yeah, it looks like a flint. It's a good size though. And it may well be it was used in the construction of the building. So yeah, definitely a bit different from DJ. We're literally on an archaeological dig. Oh boy. And there's a worm. He's now 2 worms. I was once a sad and lonely earthworm. I am a happy earthworm now that I am 2. Yeah, very big flint. Right at the end, piece of chalk. And we've almost got another full bucket. It's actually come loose. It's just a big lump of flint.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oops.
Quite a bit of hot rock. Not much else. Foundation or floor fill, basically, or on top of the subsoil. That's what I think. And I think we're done. It looks like it is time.
Sorry, I can't do that because I couldn't make the argument.
A marble would have been nice, you know. And I think that is about it. Yep. Well, not found much to speak of, I'm afraid. Found maybe one, two, three pieces of terracotta pot, a piece of slate and 2 pieces of slate and some hot rock, that's about it, and a big lump of mortar. That is it. I don't think there's anything around the outside. I think we're gonna end it there and see if we can be cheeky and do a walk around. Oh. 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 So that's the end of the day now. We've got various pits. I was in this one yesterday in that corner. There are items again. We've got a big lump of plant pot, piece of modern plastic, there's some glass in there, and a sizable piece of slate on end. Some holes have been dug more than others. Results were found in some digs and not so much others. So there's quite a bit of foundation found in this one in the left corner. Rubble foundation. You can see there's a lot more stones in this pile. But there seemed to be foundation here for part of the building in this corner of the trench. Ooh, juicy. That is very nice indeed.
Isn't it?
That is definitely a wall.
Too straight for me.
Yeah.
Lovely. That's definitely what we were looking for, wasn't it? Some kind of actual wall. Wow. Look at that. Literally, it's probably too dark, but there is some wall going from north to south, and then there's a load of rubble on top of it, and it looks like it's painted white. Whether it's lime wash, it could be lime washed wall. But that is the first bit of wall that I've seen here. Definite concrete pieces. Lots of slate. That is very, very slaggy. Slate, glass, that's a very thick glass. A very thick glass. but it probably only dates in the 1920s or 30s, I guess. It's got striations on it, it's quite thick, so I'm thinking 1920s, 30s. Another piece of glass here, but it's beveled almost, the shape of it. Pot. Wall render, we got mortar wall render. They've had results. Some holes have been dug deeper than others. Look at this one. This one had a lot of rubble in the whole building, rubble, rocks. Of a former 1700s building, 1800. Who knows what these blocks are? But this hole has definitely produced the larger ones, in interesting positions as well. Oh, I managed to turn it round just with the glove tip. Right, very interesting. DJ part of a archaeological dig in Croydon, Addiscombe, but we've all stopped now, it's finished, so I'm gonna shut this down, get my pass and my bag, and then me pottery from the partition, which is over there. I've left it over there, and the slightly magnetic bloomery slag. It's all very interesting stuff that, to be honest, could be a can of worms for Croydon, or should be a can of worms for Croydon, because if it's late Iron Age and Roman and early medieval, it puts habitation at that location way back 1,000 years, maybe even more. Literally 100 years before, BC. We're going BC, so it puts people in Addington for thousands of years. Anyway, we're gonna end it here.